I'm living proof that boot camp is survivable. I did it. Boot camp is over. It is a journey. I am just gonna give a summary because I could go through all the details, all the other things that people touch on all over YouTube, but I'm just kind of gonna give a summary. So you got to report back to MEPS. They do like another year analysis. You signed your official contract. That first contract you sign is to sign you into the DEP program, the delayed entry program. And then the next contract you sign actually signs you into the Navy. Because I was confused, like, why am I signing another contract? But it's a different contract to actually sign you into the Navy, right? They do more fingerprinting, more signatures, a lot of the same, not really stressful. Then you do your final swear-in, which you can have like a couple family members there for, and you get your first set of official orders. It's basically like your plane ticket and that you're supposed to report to Great Lakes. You go to the airport. There were like 6 of us. You're not just wandering around the airport alone. Keep an eye on your valuables. I had a little bit too much faith in people. Still working on that, honestly. My roommate from MEPS stole my charger. Not only did she steal it, she swapped it for hers like I wasn't gonna notice because I had a nice freaking charger. She swapped them, and I, being the non-controversial person that I am most of the time, didn't say anything. So I was like, she might be in my division. I don't want to cause bad blood. Like, I'll deal with the charger, whatever. At least she gave me hers. Anyway, airport. Then you're all like lined up because like there's a bunch of different buses coming in. Line up in the airport, and they don't start like yelling at you right then, but they'll raise their voice. You basically just check in with your name. They make sure you don't have any like weapons or opened hygiene products. So if you bring like travel size bottles or whatever, just make sure you don't open it, make sure they're brand new, because I guess that's suspicious or whatever. Then you basically get on the bus and you arrive at Great Lakes. You don't meet your RDCs right away. You go in to the Pearl Harbor, and it is true, do not step on the flags and walk on the right side of the building. That's like a thing across the board all throughout boot camp. And then you're lining up. There's like 2 lines, you like face each other. And there's, I don't even think he was an RDC. Some petty officer was like walking up and down the rows being like, welcome to Great Lakes. Right here starts the freaking beginning of your Navy journey, whatever the heck. And we got that call home where it's basically like, I arrived in Illinois, I'm safe. I'll be able to call you in like 3 days. And man, it's just nerve-wracking. Because even then you're like, do I have to say these words perfectly on the phone? You know, you're stressed, as you should. Because when you get off the bus, it is like, get inside. Anyway, after that, you begin getting issued all of your uniforms and such. Like for females, underwear, bras, socks, your bathing suit, brown t-shirts, shower shoes, body wash, shampoo. They give you a razor, like a notebook, you get pens, you get your black backpack. And not only are you being issued those things, at like a rapid speed, they're telling you exactly where to put all of those things in the backpack. So like your pens have to be in a certain pocket, the notebook has to be in a certain pocket, your Sharpies have to be in a certain pocket. So don't just go in there thinking you're getting issued stuff. Like, lock in, because they have to go in certain pockets, and it like changes throughout boot camp. Like once you get issued more things or you don't need something anymore, the pocket will change. It's like your Sharpie now goes here. So just pay attention to those details, because like it doesn't matter, but it does because they make it matter. So from the beginning of getting issued stuff, it's gonna matter. We also had to completely undress, fair warning. So we're just like in this random room with like tables in front of us where we're like getting all of our stuff and like packaging it all and da-da-da. You have to try on like undergarments and bathing suits to make sure it's the right size. So you just will fully be naked. It's all girls. I don't know what the heck the guys did. Prepare yourself for that, because I don't think any of us knew that was coming. Yeah, and then you're up all throughout this night. You'll completely change into like their undergarments and your Smurfs, which is your sweat. So like blue sweatpants, blue sweatshirt. You get issued like your training guide, which has like all the basic information you need to know. You gotta wait around, you gotta wait for all the other buses to come in, and that's when you're assigned your division. They call it a bunch of names and they're like, your division this, and then they call it a bunch of names. It's like, your division this. You'll eventually go to your room, your compartment, make your bed for the first time. And oh my goodness, something that was so stressful for us was like in the back of your training guide, it gives you like step by step how exactly to make your bed, because again, unimportant details that they make important. You'll get comfortable with unclear instruction and just kind of sink or swim basically. So yeah, that first morning it was like we were supposed to make our bed correctly, but nobody told us how to make it. So we had to figure it out from the back of the training guide. So you have like 100+ girls like, how do we make our bed? You get breakfast, lunch and dinner, da-da-da. Man, I guess they started medical stuff that day. P-Days is a blur. I always hated that people were like, oh, P-Days is a blur. It just sucks. And I was like, dude, how do you not remember? I don't really remember. Well, because you go figure, boot camp, it's literally 10 weeks of your life. And that first week is when you're the most overwhelmed. It's when you're the most stressed, the most tired, the most uncomfortable. It's hard to remember. But basically the gist of P-Days, you're getting medical stuff done. So your vaccinations, you get your eyes checked, you get your hearing tested, you're getting issued all of your stuff. So like your backpack, your sea bag, your laundry bag, your hygiene products, you're learning how to make your bed, you're learning how to fold stuff for the first time, how to wear stuff correctly, learning how to address the RDCs. Because most people, huge mistake that a ton of us made at least in our division and brother division, everyone just calls them yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am. Do not call them ma'am, do not call them sir. They're petty officers or they're chiefs. Yes chief, no chief, aye chief, no petty officer, aye petty officer. Ma'am or sir is only like freaking captains and stuff, so don't call them that. Yeah, so you're really just like making mistakes in P-Days. Like you're saying the wrong thing, you're going the wrong place, you don't know where you're going, but you're expected to. Like you're learning how to eat in the galley. It's just like the most stressful. So enough about that. Things that I had questions about before going in was, one, are pajamas a thing? What do you wear to bed? And nobody ever talked about that, and I was just curious. So you basically are issued your PT gear, which is just kind of like knee length-ish basketball shorts vibes. And then the yellow t-shirt. Those are your pajamas. Brown shirt and the shorts, and then you have your Smurfs, your sweats, so you can wear your sweats over that, but you are always wearing those PT shorts and the brown shirt at all times, even under your NWs, your NWs, which is the camo. You will always be wearing those shorts and that shirt. You are issued socks. You don't have to bring socks. You can bring your own tennis shoes, and they were like very lenient. I was told or like recommended to like only bring black, only bring white, gray, like neutral colors. One of the dudes in my division literally had like red, white, and blue tennis shoes with like American flag stars on it. So I wouldn't take that route. But the point is, they basically let you bring anything. They just have to have laces. Like don't bring any like Velcro or like slip-on tennis shoe, if that makes sense. Just don't go crazy with it. And I would bring your own pair of tennis shoes, because people like, they get stress fractures, they get shin splints. I actually did not hate the shoes that they gave us at all. I actually wore them the whole time, even though I brought my own, because I just wore them all throughout P-Days and got used to them, and they didn't bother me. So I wore those the whole time and didn't have a problem with them. But if you're like picky about your shoes, or you just want to make sure you're comfortable, like bring your own and you're totally allowed. Oh, the swim test, that's another thing that people like freak out about. Basically, like, you can either swim or you can't. I grew up swimming, like I did summer swim team, so I was like super confident in that area. So it was actually really, really fun for me to like get in the water, because the swim test is, I think, like a couple days into that first week after P-Days. Like the swim test is pretty early, because they need to basically figure out like, hey, yo, do you need swim lessons or are you good? The tower you jump off of, unless you're deathly scared of heights, like it's a piece of cake, truly. It's something that you need to pass in order to continue with training. So like the fact that you have to do it, everyone else is doing it, the instructors are confident, it's truly not that high. Just take one step and then it's literally over. So if you don't know how to swim, do yourself a favor and try to get in a pool, get in a lake, do something to get yourself confident with like putting your face in the water, holding your breath, because one part of the swim is the prone float, which is where you're laying face down, like starfish vibes. And you have to lay there for 5 minutes. You can tilt your head up to breathe, but you'll be fully submerged and your face will be in water. So if you know you're not comfortable, like don't screw yourself over and prepare for that now, because otherwise you'll be literally like in swim lessons for the rest of boot camp until you can pass. And that's just extra work for the RDCs. It's just inconvenient. Battle stations, can't say anything about, but you'll be fine, you know? Huya battle stations. The biggest thing that I took away from boot camp, and I'll end it here, is there's a lot of challenges. You really do learn how to operate under stress. You really do learn the basics of becoming a sailor, you know, respecting your authority, working with and among people, whether they're difficult or like a really good teammate, shipmate, whatever. But the biggest challenge for me was the people around me by far. We had some motivated people, some like intelligent people. We had decent leadership amongst the recruits, but overall, like, we had people just talking when they shouldn't have, joking when they shouldn't have, like talking back to the RDCs, just testing the waters a little bit too much as far as how much freedom they had. And basically they just genuinely thought they could do things on their own terms. And that's the whole point of boot camp, is to make you realize, like, hey, there's a chain of command and there's people that you need to listen to and people that have more experience than you, and you don't know better. Like, you don't know better. So truly, and again, I thought this was stupid too, when people were like, just shut up and do what you're told. Shut up and do what you're told, and you literally, they'll love you. Pick up on how the RDCs operate and like what is acceptable and what's normal, and how can I start to kind of think for myself within this system? How can I take more responsibility? How can I take accountability? Just do what you're told and like learn the environment, and those people around you that are talking, that are being stupid, you literally cannot control them. The sooner you learn that you can't control people and you can only control yourself, the better you are. I'm telling you, after TAPS, which is lights out, so loud. You've had like a long day. You would think everyone's ready to just snuggle down and go to sleep for the next big day ahead of them. But no, they want to talk. They want to play around. They want to sing. They want to do their hair till midnight in the bathroom. Just unbelievable things that you're like, why would you operate this way? Why would you like risk doing this? People would tell people to shut up all the time after lights out, and it doesn't do anything. It's like, shut up, we have to do this tomorrow, or shut up, we had a really long day, cussing at each other. Like, it's not gonna help. It's not. Like, I never yelled at anyone to do anything because it wasn't going to do anything. Sure, I was ticked off that we couldn't go to sleep right away because they were loud, but you just learn to deal with the noise, tune them out, and fall asleep on your own time. You just can't control them. You can't win. You can't. That's my biggest advice. Yeah, that's kind of like the very overall picture, but it is so doable, to the point where we had moments in boot camp where we would just kind of look at each other and we're like, we're really doing this. Like, this is United States Navy boot camp, and we're just in Illinois, and we're like marching on the sidewalks and like learning this life. It's a whole new lifestyle to learn, and just be so willing to learn it. Commit yourself to it, and you will literally have no problem. You really won't. If you have any overarching questions, I do not live a very busy life as of right now. I'm currently in A school, which I'll make another video about, but I haven't started my classes yet, so I'm extremely free. So if you have specific questions, totally comment them. I'll either just like answer them then, or like make more videos. And if I think of more stuff that's really helpful for boot camp, I'll totally put that out. But other than that, Huya Navy, if you're about to join, if you joined, if you're waiting to ship, like, I'm not even going to tell you not to be nervous, because you can't really control that. Like, there's going to be nerves, and that's normal. But at the end of the day, like, completely doable. There are some people in there where you're like, are they gonna make it? And they do. Like, the RDCs are incredible. Just subject yourself to what it's gonna be like, and you'll succeed. For real, for real. That is it. Signing off.